Hello and welcome to the JetBackup Tutorials account section overview. In this video we'll be showing you the basic features for managing your account's backups and exploring additional features and settings to allow you to further fine-tune your JetBackup experience. So let's get started. First off, let's navigate to the Accounts page in JetBackup 5. In this section you'll see a list of accounts hosted on your server, as well as each of the account's owners, associated home directory, primary domain, and the assigned IP address. The tags column, which will allow you to group accounts by tags, and a couple metrics such as the number of full backups for each account, as well as the current disk and inode usage from the server for each account. And in the last column, we have the assignable accounts. Next, let's click on one of the accounts to expand the row and show more options. Here we have a few additional buttons: Manage Account, View Backups and Downloads. Let's go ahead and click Manage Account. Here you have a few settings you can configure. First, under the email address, you have the option to set the preferred email address for JetBackup to send account-specific JetBackup notifications, such as when backups have been successfully generated or when a restore has been completed for a particular account. Next, we have Max On-Demand Backups. This option allows you to set an account-specific limit for how many on-demand backups a particular account can generate. For our purposes, we'll leave this setting to Use Global Settings. Next, we have the encryption key. This shows a particular user opted to use encrypted backups and either store their key locally or remotely. Users opting for encrypted backups will generate an encryption key specific to their account, which will be required each time someone accesses or executes any action on their encrypted backups. As an admin, you will also have the option to reset an account's key in case they lose their previous key. It is important to note that all backups encrypted with the previous key will become inaccessible and deleted once you reset and generate a new key. Next, we have the Account Queue Priority Groups Override. This setting allows the admin to assign priority of an account when a JetBackup task is queued. This includes backups, restores, and download tasks. This is particularly useful for sorting the priority of account backups and restores based on your preferences, like prioritizing bigger accounts or prioritizing accounts with specific packages. Next, we have tags, which will allow you to assign specific tags for an account. On top of allowing you to group and organize accounts based on tags, you also have the option to configure JetBackup tasks based on tags, such as creating a backup job that will only backup accounts with a specific tag, or assigning priority based on tags instead of assigning a priority for each individual account. As an example, let's go ahead and create a tag and configure this so JetBackup will automatically set the priority to high for all accounts assigned with this tag. To start, let's go ahead and navigate back to the Accounts page. On the top left of this page, we have the Manage Account Tags button. Clicking it will navigate us back to the Tags page. Here you'll get a list of all created tags and the option to create one. Let's go ahead and click Create New Tag. On this page you can specify the name and color you want to assign to our tag. You also have the color swatch available for you to select for convenience. For our purposes, let's go ahead and name our first tag VIP and keep the default tag color assigned. Then we'll click Save. Now that our VIP tag has been created, let's go back to the Accounts page and assign the VIP tag to a couple accounts by clicking the Manage Tag button under the Tags column. Once assigned, let's go to Settings, Performance, and click on Manage Queue Priority Groups. Now, let's modify the high priority and assign the VIP tag to it. Alright, now we're all set. Now, each time a backup or restore runs, accounts with the VIP tag will automatically be placed higher in the queue. To demonstrate, let's quickly run a backup job and check the queue. As you can see, the accounts we have tagged VIP are getting their backups generated first. Now that we've covered what tags can do in JetBackup, let's head back to Manage Account. Last on this page, we have Account Backup Job Excludes. This option allows you to specify files and folders to exclude on backups for a particular account, as well as the option to set a specific backup job to which these excludes will apply. Please note that you need to specify the path relative to the account's home directory. And that covers all the options you have available to modify each account in JetBackup. Now that we're back on the Accounts page, we'll briefly go over Backups on Demand. This option allows you to generate an on-demand backup for a specific account, taking a snapshot of the account at the current period of time, and is particularly useful for cases when a client may need to perform a major upgrade on their account or website and would like to have an option to roll back to a more recent on-demand backup instead of restoring from the last scheduled backup. To enable this feature, first you would need to make sure that the Backup on Demand is configured on your JetBackup settings under the Backup on Demand tab. Under this tab, you'll need to select a backup job that JetBackup will use to associate your backup on demands with. Next, you'll have to have maximum backups per account, which lets you limit the number of on-demand backups a particular account can generate. Next is how long you would like to keep these snapshots. This ensures that on-demand backups get removed after a specified number of days. Finally, you have the option to set conditions, and this will allow you to automatically disable on-demand backups for accounts based on their disk space usage or inode count. Now let's go back to the Accounts page and generate an on-demand backup for one of our accounts. As you can see, on-demand backup jobs get queued in JetBackup and generates a backup for the selected account. The next option we'll go over is View Backups. This opens up a modal that allows you to select full account backups associated with the selected account based on the time the backup was generated. It also shows you additional information associated with the selected backup like schedule, type, structure, destination, and where the backup is stored. You also have the option to add notes to a specific backup, and depending on the destination and destination type, it may also show the size of the backup as well. To briefly explain, JetBackup can calculate the backup size for archived and compressed backups since the backup is stored in a tar.gz format. For incremental backups, destinations like S3 compatible, Google Drive, and OneDrive utilize our new backup engine, which allows JetBackup to calculate the size of incremental backups stored on these destinations. In addition to these features, you also have the lock status of the backup. Locked backups are backups that are taken off the backup cycle, meaning that JetBackup will never remove this backup as long as it remains locked. One such use case for locking backups is when the hosting provider may want to keep a set of backups for accounts that may have been terminated for an extended period of time, which allows the provider to restore an account in case the client may want to reactivate their account. Next up on this modal, we have the Show Advanced Settings button. Clicking this button shows you all the available backup items associated with the selected full backup under each tab. This allows you to select specific backup items you may want to restore, as well as mix and match backup items from different backup dates. Additionally, for directory backups, you have the option to browse and select specific files and folders you may want to restore or download. To briefly demonstrate, let's navigate to the Home Directory tab. As you can see, I have the option to select a different backup date from this specific backup item. More importantly, I have the option to browse and select files I may want by clicking Change File Selection. This opens up the backup file browser and allows me to select files and folders. Now that we've learned how to select and modify our backup selection, let's check on the backup actions available to us via the Backups mode. First, we have the Restore action. Once you click this button, you'll get an overview of the backup items selected from the previous page. This gives you the option to quickly remove backup items for restoration. Depending on the selected backup items, you may also have additional restore options as follows. You have the Terminate Backup Before Restore option. This option tells JetBackup to perform a clean restore of the selected backup, specifically terminating the account before restoring from the backup. Next, we have Merge Backup Data with Live Account Data. This allows you to merge data from the selected backup with data that already exists in the account. Please note that the live data takes precedence over the restored data. The main use case for this feature is allow you to restore emails from a backup without losing emails that an account may have received after the backup was taken. Lastly, we have Suspend Account After Restore. As the name suggests, this tells JetBackup to suspend the account after the restore completes automatically. This gets enabled by default when the backup selected was generated when the account was suspended. Administrators may also find this useful in situations where you need to make additional changes to the account after restoring it. Next on our list, we have the Download action. Similar to the Restore button, this will give you a quick overview of the backup items selected on the previous page. Once you hit Download Selected Items, you will then be automatically sent to the Queue page by default, while JetBackup generates a downloadable file that contains all the selected backup items. Once the download has been generated, you can go to the Downloads page to verify that the backup is now ready to download to your local machine. Going back to the View Backups modal, The next actions we have are the lock and unlock backups. As the name suggests, the lock action allows you to lock the selected backups out from the JetBackup cleanup rotation. In other words, this tells JetBackup to keep these locked backups regardless of its time for the backup to get deleted based on their corresponding backup retention. On top of locking the selected backup items, you also have the option to specify how long you would like to lock your backups. For an unlimited amount of time, simply set the lock to unlimited time option. Then the unlock action simply does the opposite and marks the backup to be included in the next backup cleanup rotation. Now that covers all the important features and functionality under View Backups. Now, let's go ahead and explore View Downloads. Similar to the Downloads page in the main JetBackup menu, this mode will show you a list of all backups ready for download for the selected account. It also gives you information on when the download was generated, the total backup items contained in each download, and you can also hover the question mark icon to get more details on which specific backup items are included in the download. Next, we have the total size of and an option to add notes. Lastly, you have the download button, which will download the selected backup to your local machine. As explained in the previous video, orphan accounts are accounts that are currently not active on your server, but have backups on one of your configured destinations. Clicking on View Orphan Accounts will list these accounts and allow you to access their associated backups. Other than the same information and actions you get when listing active accounts, you also get when each orphan account was last active. Thanks for watching our tutorial for the account section of JetBackup 5. In the next video, we'll go over the destination section. This will include going over supported destination types and a general overview of how destinations are set up and function in JetBackup. Please visit jetbackup.com/tutorials for a full list of helpful videos to guide you through setting up JetBackup to best fit your needs.